that I do it 5 times a day.
Okay, now we're live. Welcome to the pizza stream! I've got a green peppers, mushroom, sausage, and pepperoni pizza, and I've got my little Parmesan packet and my red crushed pepper packet pre-opened, ready to douse my pizza with. And then also my mother is here.
Hi!
She is wearing her Adventure Archive shirt, which she owns multiple of, and I own none at the moment because I lost one.
You did?
And, yeah, I left it at the Normies studio, and when we did an interview with them, and then I told them they could just keep it if they wanted it, or throw it away if they didn't. And this is because they're really far away. I was like, I can go downtown and get it, but it seems like really far. Okay, but first off, thank you, Aaron Jones, for the $5. He says, go buy 4 Tostino's pizzas at 4 for $5.
Oh, really?
And you'll have 4 pizzas. That's true. Like, you can buy some cheap pizzas at Kroger. In fact, I forgot I was supposed to. Hold on, I gotta do something. Okay. Okay. So, has everybody got their pizza? Yes, everybody got their pizza. Okay, I've been waiting for a long time. I actually usually eat dinner much earlier than this, so I've been saving this. So I've been quite hungry.
And you have to be finished by 8.
I have to be finished by 8, that's true. We should talk about that, too.
Yeah, we should.
So how was your day today?
Oh,
You had a day off, right?
I did. Yeah, today was tomorrow's the holiday, but we're closed on Saturdays for the most part. So today we got off. We got paid for that. That was fun.
What did you do?
I played in the garden for a while, and I gave my mother a perm. My 83-year-old mother, I gave her a perm.
Does she always do perms?
Yeah, yeah. And if you'd seen her before the perm, you'd know why.
Why?
Well, because her hair was getting really long, and it's very straight, and like mine, if I don't do anything to it, it's like straw. And as she put it in a text to my brother a while ago, that she looked like a 90-year-old homeless woman. just curling her hair makes her just look 15 years younger.
That's good.
Yeah, so she's very happy.
Anything else?
Nope, that's all I've done. That's all I've done. I slept late, like
That's good.
an extra hour. It was pretty fun.
What did you have for dinner?
Oh, well, I made some farro. So I had farro and black beans with tomatoes and a salad with stuff from my garden. Yeah, the garden's going really well. I had lettuce from there and snow peas from there in the salad, and the other stuff wasn't from there. But yeah, we got a pumpkin growing. It's this big, but it's definitely a pumpkin.
Could you eat it right now, or would you?
No.
Okay.
Just be like eating a stem.
Oh, what about watermelon? Could we grow watermelon?
I could grow watermelon. I haven't. Never tried it. I grew cantaloupe once, and I got 3 beautiful little cantaloupes, but it took up half the garden to do it, so I'm not sure it was really worth it.
Did you eat it?
Yeah, they were great. I don't know where you were.
Yeah, where was I?
You might have
How
been
many years ago was it?
It's when I lived on Spring Mill in the big house. You lived there, but it was early on.
Well, maybe I wasn't there. Okay, so you may
I just realized you used me so you could eat.
my plans.
I saw through you.
Pizza's great. Somebody asked how the pizza was. Any questions for my mother while she's here? She's not gonna stay that long. If you guys have any questions? I don't know. You know what's so funny? It's like whenever you have the opportunity to ask a question, it's like you can't think. So one time there's a dude named Satoshi Kon. He actually died, but he directed maybe not lots of famous anime, but the ones that he did, he's really famous for. Like Paranoia Agent is one of them, and then I can't remember the names of any of the others, but they're really famous.
Okay.
And they're really interesting. Anyways, while I was living in New York, me and my buddy Takeshi, who I worked with, somehow we got tickets to go, or it was free. I think it was free. And I was like, oh, does anybody else want to go to that? And then he was the only person who wanted to go. Which was funny because I was working at an anime distribution DVD thing. So like
nobody wanted to go.
Nobody else wanted. Well, that's my memory of it. I could be wrong, but anyways, if anybody would want to go to this event, it'd be all the nerds who worked at this anime DVD place. Okay. So anyway, we went and we're sitting in the audience, and Takeshi's like a super quiet dude. He would never ask a question, but I was like, oh, I'm definitely asking a question. So as soon as they said at the end after they screened the movie, which I can't remember which movie they screened. Dang, I really wish I could remember that. Anyway, they said, okay, do you have any questions? I said, I was the first one in the theater. They saw me right away. I was like straight up. And then so I asked, I said, okay, how do you balance making something that you really want to make, that's your piece of art, that's your vision, versus the need to make something that actually sells? Okay? That's the way I phrase it.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm very curious his answer, because this is the whole studio question.
You're going to be very disappointed.
Oh, darn.
The way the woman translated it, I was listening, I was like, she is not translating it properly. She was translating it as like an animation cell. And she was saying it, and I think as she was saying it, she realized this question doesn't make any sense. And she was like, wait, do you mean like selling as in like an animation cell, or like making money? And I was like making money. Like, what are you talking about? I never once said anything about an animation cell. And then, I think it might even be weirder than that. I think he answered the question first. And as he was answering it, she was like, wait a minute, let me clarify this question first. And then she asked me the follow-up. But then, once he got the proper question, you know what he said? He said, I don't really think about it. That was it! He was just like, I don't really think about it. It's not really a big issue.
So does that mean he just makes what he wants to make, or he just makes what he needs to make to sell?
He just makes what he wants to make.
Oh, okay.
But somehow he's able to get away with it, and I don't... Maybe he didn't fully grasp the unsaid follow-up question that I asked. Is like, how do you deal with like the people
pressure
in charge
yeah.
who are funding your project? Because if he's not thinking about that aspect of it, then he was just like, oh yeah, I mean, they're giving me money, so I'm just going to make what I want to make. But I was also curious about that second part, about how did you get people to... But I think that was a good answer in the sense that he doesn't worry too much about what's going to sell and just make something that he thinks actually good.
And lets the people who pay him or
let
who
them
fund
worry
it,
about
let
it,
them worry about how to make it sell. And I suppose if, people like what you do, then that's all you really need is you get your tribe to follow you. And either the money comes or it doesn't, but at least you're doing what you want to do.
I think just by our own experience is that you can scrape by a poverty level wage doing what you want to do, even if it's not necessarily all that successful, if you really believe in it.
Yeah, I read an article many years ago, back, I think I might have even been a school teacher at a time. So before law school, before being a lawyer, before doing anything else. And it was a woman who had been a high executive in a corporation, and she opened up a bait shop on some island in Florida or something. And they interviewed her, and she said, yes, everyone can have their dream. But if you believe that, if you really put your heart in, you follow your passion, the money will come. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. It might be true, and especially if part of your passion is selling your product or your service, then definitely. But if you really want to follow your passion, you can always make a living. You just can't necessarily get rich.
Because luck and circumstance for any type of endeavor is a big role. And a lot of times you just have to keep being in that situation. There's an article, did you ever hear that rocker? It's like some dude who's like, I want to be a rock star. And he just for years was just toiling away, playing bars for like 2 people, doing his rocking thing. He's like, but I'm going to be a rock star. Eventually, he was like 55 or something, and then he's still not like a big rock star. He's just doing local shows or whatever. But his story got out, and people dug it so much that he was at it for so long that he became a big rock star. Maybe not big, but big enough that...
You don't know who it is?
Apparently he's not that big.
He's probably like a country or western something.
No,
he's
like
really
a rock star, like rock
Really?
music. Old rock music guy who tried for years. I was hoping that would work. Okay, guy wants to be a rock star for many years. Finally gets success. Also didn't work. Anyway, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, and I didn't just make it up.
Yeah.
This is tangentially related. The other day, Andrew on the stream said, here's what it's like living with somebody who works at an ice cream store. And then he comes in from the other room with like a pile of ice cream. Okay?
Does he live with somebody who works at an ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. And then there's just a pile of ice cream. And I was like, oh man, that's great. But anyways, that's not really the point. It just sparked a thought in my head, which was, and I've probably talked about this before, why are not all jobs, especially jobs that everybody needs? Everybody needs somebody to work in an ice cream store. Because at some time you're going to want to go to the ice cream store and you're not going to want to do it yourself. And somebody else is going to give you that great experience, and they give the little kid the scoop, and they're like, here's another scoop for you, and then give the dog the doggy treat. For some reason, they always give dogs doggy treats at ice cream stores. But there's this stigma, like what if I was the 55-year-old rocker, but instead of the rocker, I was just wanted to be an ice cream guy. Like, oh yeah, I'm 55 and I'm working at an ice cream store. People will be like, what are you doing? You get a real job. Blah, blah. But what is wrong with doing a good job that everybody wants and taking pride in it and doing that job?
Yeah, it's like I think when you guys were little and you would go, I'm going to be, you'd make something up. Whatever. I'm going to be a garbage man. What do you think of that? And I would go, as long as you do your best and you really love it, you go for it. But it reminds me of like I think it's in Chicago, some toll road where I've been through where you stop to pay your money and the person is so cheerful and like incredibly happy to help you get on the road. Or that young woman on the plane back from Nashville, we're on this like 4-seater, 2 seats on each side, or maybe 1 seat on each side. I don't even remember, 2 seats on one side. Anyway, she gets up to give the seatbelt thing, and she's like, and so take your seatbelt, and you put it in, and she's like all this flowery stuff. And when she got finished, everybody clapped. I'm like, she was like,
why not?
Why not? Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know why. We have 6 billion people on the planet.
Not everybody can be the rock star.
Exactly. Or a movie star or a corporate executive. Somebody's got to do all the other things. And we as a race almost are judgmental of that, even though we can't survive without it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why.
No, it's especially like the jobs that, it's just all the low-paying jobs. Like, why are these low-paying jobs? They're just as needed as anybody else along the chain.
Yeah. I especially feel that about teachers. They are literally shaping the personalities and minds of our future adults. The leaders and the other people who are going to be working. Shouldn't we invest in them?
Yeah.
Like make sure that you've got people worthy and make them feel appreciated and because really the really good teachers are just ones who've just got it in their heart and they'll let you beat them to death. They'll still be for the kids. But I remember when I was a school teacher and I decided I was going to go to law school, and when I told my boss my SAT scores and asked him if he would do a reference letter, his real words, and I quote because I've said it many times because it upset me so much, "Why on earth are you wasting your time teaching kids?" And I was like, so you don't think you should have bright, enthusiastic, really super intelligent people teaching kids? That's exactly who should be teaching kids. It was very disheartening.
Wow.
Very disheartening.
What are SAT scores?
Well, at the time, it was like the highest you could get was 48, and I got a 47. It was like 99th percentile.
Whoa! We won 48 points?
At that time, yeah. I think it's on a different scale now, but like the highest...
They changed it twice. When I was in school, the max was 1,600. Then they changed it to like 2...
No, not LSAT, not SATs. LSAT, Law School Aptitude Test. Sorry. LSAT.
Wow.
My SAT scores were really good too, though.
What was your SAT score?
I don't remember, but I just remember like they were all in the 99th percentile. So
I only
got
remember mine
scholarships and
because it
stuff.
was an even number. It was 1,400.
Yeah,
Not
I don't
1,600.
I don't remember.
But I don't think it was even between English and math. It was like 690 English, 710 math. I'm still kind of crunchy about how much math I learned in school. How much time I wasted learning math. Not that math is not a great, noble skill and that you don't need a specific level. But I should have stopped at like sophomore year. I did senior math and sophomore year. Like they're always bumping people up in math. His buddy Nick. Man, I love that dude. Nick is one of those people that like, from the time I met him, he just was like always happy, like positive, and even when he wasn't happy, he was still somehow positive about his negativity. Like, oh man, this sucks. That's okay. Anyway, he was in my math class too, and I remember specifically in senior year, it was calculus BC, just like ancient calculus apparently.
I wonder if that's really what that meant.
I don't think so. The good news is that tested me out of college math. But anyway, the senior year, the only homework I did was that math class because it was the only thing that I actually had to do to pass the class. Every other class... Oh, also, we should probably not just ignore people.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Didn't you ask them if they had any questions?
I'll get to that chat in a second. Hold on 1 second. I gotta finish the story. Okay. So, can't remember the point. Okay, I remember the point. Screw it. The only homework I had to do was that calculus BC. So every night it was just like 2 hours of just, and then just doing that. Every other class, like physics, man, like the teacher, for some reason, he just didn't care. Also, I just never understood anything he was saying. He'd say stuff, and then I'd see the test. I'm like, this is not what you were talking about, or I'm just really stupid. One of the two. I don't think that was the case, because the math class, I never felt like that. It was the homework, was like, boom. Anyways, I've told this before, but I played Game Boy Advance every day in class. We put our backpacks up, and then I just played Game Boy Advance. And then next to me was another Nick. He played TI-83 Plus games. And then it was my friend Josh. I can't remember what Josh played. He must have been playing calculator games too. Anyways, that's all we did. Anyways, in that math class, Nick, that dude loved math. He was so excited and he would ask questions and he'd be like, oh, that's so cool that worked and blah, blah, blah. You know what he became? A programmer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he became a programmer and then worked for a place that got bought out by Google and now he's a Google guy.
Yeah. When I went to college, that's what I majored in first was math.
Oh.
And then I got there and I was surrounded by Nicks and realized I was way in the wrong. I was like, you guys are crazy. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to do it for a little while, but I don't get excited over this. And I was happy for them that they did.
Yeah.
But I knew immediately I was in the wrong field.
But for me, it was like especially I feel like learning should be done when you're young. And the reason I say that is because you only have so much time on the planet, right? And at some point you have to stop learning and stop preparing. You just start creating. And if you're well, not that you should ever stop learning completely.
Okay.
But when you're like 20 and under, it should be just learning. Like, I mean, producing, of course, too. As I'm saying this out loud, this doesn't make that much sense.
It doesn't.
But
I'm just planning to just rip you to shreds.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that I wish I had learned something that was more valuable or more in my passion.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I really wish that school was a more of a vehicle to help people figure out where their passions are, and that early on, like there was no doubt from an early age, music was a huge thing for you. You were hearing stuff in songs on the radio, like there was some drum lick in some song that I hadn't even noticed, and you kept going, listen to that. And you were like, I don't know, 7 or 8. And had I had any sense, I probably would have noticed that. But I never tried to get you to take music lessons or asked you if you wanted to. And it wasn't really until high school that you were like, I want to take piano lessons. When you started taking drum lessons, and that kind of.
Well, you know how I started playing drums, right? Or why I wanted to start? Oh, you probably just forgot.
I probably did forget.
Elementary school. It was like 4th grade. The high school comes in to play a concert every year for the elementary schools. Okay, I did this when I was in high school later, which I'll tell that story in a second. But they came in, and they would always play this song called Rocket that would have a drum solo in the middle. And they did that drum solo. I was like, holy shit balls, what is that? I gotta do that. And then so when it came time in 6th grade, you pick which instrument. I said, I want to do drums. And it was because of that concert specifically.
I have never heard this story before.
What?
No, you did not tell us that at the time. You just
No,
said,
I absolutely did.
Really? I
Yeah.
have no recollection. I have no recollection of that whatsoever.
No, that was like a defining moment. I was like, oh my God, dude, it was so amazing. They were playing in the gym, like, and I was like, oh my God, I got to do that.
Huh.
And what's funny is that we started out with a drum pad and a bell set. And I became the mallet guy because of the one day you were supposed to, when we first started band, they gave you an assignment. It's like, okay, you got to learn page 10 today. My percussion section, you got to learn page 10 on your little Alfred Knopf doo-doo book, whatever. And I was the only one who actually learned it ahead of time because it was kind of hard. Like, if you never played it before, you got to learn how to play the bells. So they go down the line, and I'm the only one who can play it. And they're like, oh, good job. You actually practiced. And okay, and then ever since then, they gave me all the bell parts.
Oh.
And then I got good at mallets. And it's not because I'm any better. Anybody else could have done that, too. It's just
practice.
Well, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's why I started playing drums.
Okay, you should look at the chat.
Okay.
I just see it scrolling and scrolling.
Okay. First of all, if we missed any questions, go ahead and let me know. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check the questions. And I'm going to give you a prompt. And you can keep them busy while I look for the questions.
Okay.
What is your favorite fruit and why?
Oh.
That's just my question. But
Was that your question?
that was my question.
Okay. My favorite fruit that's not a fair question. That's what I'm going to say. But if I had to say only one fruit forever, I'd choose blueberries. And if you want to know what I really like, I like blueberries and mango mixed together because it's beautiful and it's perfect taste. But I also like watermelon and strawberries, especially in the summer. Oh, you want to see a fun picture? Mm-hmm. Today, while I was at my mom's and I gave her the perm, afterwards I bought a watermelon and we stood over the sink, the two of us, eating watermelon. We were literally on a double sink and leaning over.
Oh, I don't know if that's in focus. That's okay. Speaking of which,
you have some.
Yeah, actually, I gotta focus on this chat for a second.
Yeah, you got all these people watching and being
okay.
interested.
One of them is, can you ask your mom how easy the locking vinyl floor she installed in the garage was? Might be installing some myself.
Oh, yes. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you get going, it's pretty easy. One thing I will say that I learned this time is make sure that you have a good subfloor, because we dance on our floors and do lots of jumping. I wanted to make sure there was a good pad. So I used carpet pad instead of the stuff that you're really supposed to do for it. And unfortunately, that didn't give it enough security, so it popped out. And so I just took it up and put down a plywood subfloor over the carpet pad, and it worked really, really, really well. Make sure that you use the utensils you're supposed to. Like if you get that locking floor, there's a kit that has a rubber mallet and a little device that you can put on the floor itself, and you hit that instead of hitting the flooring with the mallet, and it keeps it from getting banged up. And make sure you just leave a little space at the ends so that when it gets humid, it will get it'll expand and contract, and that's something you might not be used to if you have like hardwood floors. They're nailed down, and it doesn't happen that way. But if you're near Indianapolis, I'll come and help you. Right, that's the end of my answer.
Okay. Good work.
And he's serious. He's taking notes and everything.
There's a fun documentary called Anvil, the story of Anvil, that follows a metal band that's been at it for like 40 years with limited success. Also, Progieteg, I don't think I'm pronouncing your name right, I apologize, but the movies that Satoshi Kon did, Millennium Actress and Paprika, those were two of the other ones. But Paprika is the one that we saw. Now I remember.
Oh, yeah, now you remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know what anime was until you went to work at that place.
No, you knew it.
Did I?
Yeah, because of Princess Mononoke, all those.
Oh, I just don't think that you... At that time, I don't think you talked about what it was. Like, I remember the movies, but did you call... You know, like, oh, I got this great anime?
For sure, yeah.
And maybe I'm getting senile. I don't remember stuff from when you were a kid.
It's possible.
You know, your brain gets full, and then old stuff falls out until somebody reminds you.
Well, I'm still going.
Okay.
There's a lot.
A lot of questions? Or just...
What big memories, James Blackburn says, what big memories does your mom of you have as a kid? Or, you know what I'm trying to say. Did you get in any trouble, or were you a well-behaved child? I was a rule follower, man. Me and Uncle Jeff, this year at Thanksgiving, we're all sitting around playing cards or whatever. Me and Uncle Jeff were kind of kindred spirits in that way. They were talking about everybody was talking about all the trouble they got into and the ways they lied to their parents and stuff. And then, but we have different conclusions about it. And then at some point, we were both just like, I followed all the rules. And he's like, me too. And he goes, high five. I'm like, no, not high five. I didn't want to follow all the rules. And later I found out, it's like, so many other people weren't following the rules. I was following all the rules. And it was like, there's an expectation from the elders that you are going to break the rules. There's people told me to follow rules. I was like, okay, follow the rules.
I'm right there with you. And I have a very specific thing. Okay, so my best friend growing up, Debbie Nelly, and her parents had a lake house at this place called Rocky Ridge, somewhere in Missouri. And every weekend in the summer, they would go down there, and I was Debbie's best friend, so every weekend I went. And they had a ski boat, and every time when they came to pick me up, the last thing my mom would say was, don't get on the boat. Don't get on the boat. 10 years I went down there. I never got on the boat. I did not learn how to ski. Right after I graduated from high school, my mom moved to Iowa, and she rented a house on the lake. My little sister and my little brother went with her. The first time I came to visit, they're out there skiing on a lake. And I was like, what? How come they get to ski? I didn't get to ski for 10 years. And she's like, oh, you know how to ski. You went down to Rocky Ridge all the time. And I went, I wasted all that time. I couldn't believe it. I was furious. I was like, get them out of the water. Or just make them stop. I was so mad. But yeah, no, I was like you. I was pretty much a rule follower. Although I will say my senior year, I did manage to push the limits a bit. I don't know if you guys, if in a bigger city school this is even an issue or not, but I lived in a small town, like two towns together. In total at that time, they had like 10,000 people. And mine was the smaller. But when you're a senior, you're kind of expected to play hooky and drive to St. Louis to a shopping mall just right at the edge of, St. Louis, called South County Mall. And so I did that with some friends, and we're walking around in the J.C. Penney. We didn't have, we're just walking around the J.C. Penney, came around the corner, and there is my mother with her best friend. Mom looked at me, I looked at her, and I just turned around and ran. She never, ever said anything about it.
Huh.
Yeah, never, ever said anything about it.
You want to hear a funny thing?
Yeah.
For some reason, it just coincided timing-wise that Grandma called me before I went to Seattle, or Portland, to do the Retro Game Expo and then film the Timberline video. She said, I was like, I'm going by myself. She's like, Robby, you can't go by yourself. You got to promise me you're not going to go by yourself. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to lie to you. And I said, okay, I promise I'm not going to go. That is my second most viewed video I've ever made. And if I had followed the rules there, never forgave myself. I wouldn't know that I shouldn't forgive myself, but in retrospect, I'm like, not that really your grandma telling you what to do as an adult is still technically a rule.
Yeah, but you still got to lie about it.
Yeah.
When you were on that thing, she said, he didn't go by himself, did he? And I went, no, he's got friends with him. He's meeting some guys out in wherever that is. But get back to the question. You were a very lively kid. You were an entertainer even then. I remember you went to your Susu's wedding, and were dancing the Pee Wee Herman dance.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you were like 6 or 7 at the time. Just very entertaining, good kid. Both you and your brother were really, really good kids. Without sounding too mushy, a pleasure to be your parent.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Glad we were. Okay, let me try to get back to these questions. S. Sean said, do you like DQ soundtracks, Dragon Quest soundtracks? I do, but not as much as Final Fantasy. Nico said, what camera are you using? I'm using the Sony a7 III with a capture card. I missed more questions. Hold on. In fact, let's just go through them. I'll just read them out as we go. Where did I miss that? Oh, Cindy, are you planning on going on a backpacking trip with Robby anytime soon?
I keep asking to go, and he keeps saying, that's a great idea.
It is a great idea.
But it never materializes. But I think now that we're on the pandemic, if you went somewhere for a day hike or overnight, I should go with you because we're in the same house. It's not like I'm going to infect you.
Okay. Samwar says, how is your job going?
Mine?
Yeah, you.
Oh, great. Especially the new one. Love my job. It's actually, I became the volunteer coordinator at the senior center last year, but now I'm going to be their activities director, which is even better for me because then I spend all day long finding fun things for them to do and chatting with people. And
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's very, very fun.
What's your favorite AA video?
Red River Gorge, when you step out onto that Hanson's Point and say, good morning, Red River Gorgeous.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Makes me cry every time. I also like the Timberline video, and I like the Japanese mountain one, where you guys climbed.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that one a lot. But I like them all. I especially like watching them with you, so that you're telling me all the backstory at the time.
Some live commentary.
Oh man, that is so fun. And because you guys grew up, not Thomas, but the other 3, you grew up in front of me. There's lots of what you guys do that have a lot of nostalgia for me, just seeing you guys together. So
that's true. Yeah, you did see all of us literally since we were born.
Yeah, I can remember Andrew because he had those heart surgeries. That when we would go to their house, I'd pick him up and he would just lay on my chest for hours. And just, maybe he'd wake up, maybe he wouldn't, but he was just.
That's so funny because that's real. I bet he has no idea that's a thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was. And if things got too excited, and his mom, at first he'd go to his mom mostly, but if she wasn't around, he would just come to wherever I was and climb up on my lap like, ooh, I need a calm place to be because I can't get too excited. It was fun.
I like how he's telling his mom that he didn't pay attention in class. Crap, it just jumped.
Oh yeah, I can remember once trying to tell you to just fly by the seat of your pants that you were spending too much time studying. Like, you can't stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning doing homework every day. It's ridiculous. Just wing it.
Oh, Felix Sanjay, he summarized what I was trying to say earlier. It's like, I feel like you have to eventually stop preparing so much and just apply it to something that isn't a textbook.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. I have a tendency when I want to do something new to read everything I possibly can about it and then never actually get to doing it.
It's the old raft versus... Well, the example they always compare it to is religion, but I don't want to use religion as the example, but it's like I'll use my gear fetish as an example. The camera is just a tool to get you towards making a video.
Yeah.
You could spend all of your time learning how to use the camera and like researching the camera and blah, blah, blah. But at some point you guys like, okay, this is enough knowledge. Let me go apply it.
Yeah.
And the raft example is like, the raft just gets you across a river. Once you get across the river, you leave the raft at the river. You don't carry it with you because you don't need it anymore. If you need it later, you make a new raft or whatever. Come to that. Idaface says that at least here in Norway, I think a lot of people finally see how much teachers do and appreciate us a lot more. Just the same, it took a pandemic and quarantine for people to realize.
Yeah.
So that was good. That at least people.
That's a good point. Very good point. Yeah, I know a lot of my friends who have young children or even teenagers. They're like, God, please let this be over. One of my friends said, well, I can say for sure now it's not the teacher.
And Jason says pears are awesome. For the pear lovers in the chat.
I like pears, especially when they're really juicy.
We got a Nico Sullivan. What's your favorite sauce? I feel like it's a broad question, but what's your favorite sauce? Spaghetti for me, I guess.
Yeah, that's a lie. Your favorite sauce is salsa.
Oh, is that a sauce?
I think so.
Yeah,
My favorite sauce. Well, I don't make it anymore, but I really, really, really love Alfredo sauce on noodles.
Oh.
But I don't eat noodles and I don't eat much cheese anymore, so I don't make it, but I really like it.
What is your favorite form of transportation?
My Prius.
So car.
Yeah, car. No, not any car. My Prius.
Okay.
Not every car, although I really liked the Mercedes. That was really fun, too. It was really fast.
Oh, yeah. What was the model?
SL 500, 1998.
You know what I find weird is that so many people know car models, but what I find more interesting is how do people know what cars feel like? Like, how have they driven lots of different cars? They just have friends that have cars or something?
I don't know.
Or they just own a lot of cars and have owned a lot of cars? Because I literally know how, like, 4 cars feel. Yeah. Honda Accord, both a 1992 and a 99 model, a Civic from 2007, a Toyota Previa from 1992, and a...
You know my Prius, which you hate.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's that bad. And then
I love that
Hyundai
car.
Accent from some year.
Sometime.
Yeah. Obi-Wan, how are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good.
Okay. How are you, Obi-Wan? We got another broad question. What's your place in the world? Maybe that wasn't a question mark. Maybe that was just part of the topic we were talking about. Or maybe it was. I don't know.
Shall we try?
But you can. Yeah, if you got an answer, go.
Yeah. I think my place in the world is. I've been trying to figure it out for years, but I think my purpose is to help people feel better, whether it's moving or, just about their life. My purpose is to validate other people's lives. I feel good when I do that, and I feel bad when I don't. Like, especially if I know someone's crying out for that. It doesn't hurt me at all. It helps me. And if I can do it through dance, that's cool.
Okay. I don't have a good answer for that. I feel like my answer would be...
You're out of the camera.
Oh, that's
that's
for those
delayed.
earlier. So we're going to have to make a judgment call here.
Okay.
I was eating that watermelon after 8 p.m. and I didn't realize it.
No, you weren't. It's not even 8 yet.
Woo! I thought I was about to lose that $50.
Are you kidding? I was watching.
Woo!
Do they know about the $50?
Oh, maybe they don't. Go ahead and get that bowl up there so we can tell them about it. Oh, and also get that picture of me and Sunjam, because that's my favorite picture. Because somebody says, what is your mother's favorite childhood photo of Robby and why?
Nah, this might be it.
This is me and my brother when we were like, how old?
4 and 6.
Oh,
maybe?
it's 1988, so yeah, 4 and 5 or 6. I'll put that right there. Anyway, that is a hilarious picture, and you could dissect the different depths. In fact, I can just go ahead and do that. He's wearing a Raisinets, not Raisinets, the Raisin Brothers, what were they called?
Oh, the grapevine. Heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah, the Heard It Through the Grapevine raisins or whatever on a shirt. And then he's wearing a jean jacket full outfit with the collar popped. And he's wearing little black shoes with white socks like he's like Michael Jackson or something.
No, Bruce Lee.
Did Bruce Lee have stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, like Bruce Lee. And he's got just such a subtle tilt. Well, they can't really see it that well, but he's got like such a subtle tilt to his stance. And then I'm wearing purple jogging shorts. Jogging pants.
I think I made those.
Oh, that would make sense because I can't imagine those being sold at a store.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I made them.
Okay, and then that's pretty much it. But our hands are so funny and we got such serious looks on our faces. And...
You were.
Okay, so anyway, I was going for a run. And actually, it's kind of funny because, well, let me tell the story first. I was going for a run, and then I came back home because while on the run, it suddenly hit me. I was like, dude, I know how to stop us because we always want to not eat after a certain time.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to eat after whatever time before bed. Like, you should at least have like 3 or 4 hours, probably 4 minimum, before you go to sleep that you're not eating anything. There's no reason to eat. The human body did not evolve to need to eat right before you go to bed.
Yeah, we don't need any energy to sleep.
Right. So I was running and it suddenly hit me. I was like, oh, here's what we'll do. Put $50 cash in a bowl in the kitchen. And if the other person catches the other person eating it, and we just do honor system too.
Yeah.
So like if you actually break the rule yourself, that's fine. You have to pay the other person $50.
Yeah, it's not like they just go take it.
Yeah, they can just go take the $50 and you have to refill it.
No passes, no buys, no.
Yeah. And
except for we have exceptions. If you're like on a AA trip and
I had to do that post-psych
Yeah.
meal the other day. That was after.
or if I'm traveling, and have to eat late because I'm eating with people.
Right.
That's different.
But at home, when your circumstances are under your control. And this has been the most effective thing I've ever done. Like, it is easy to not eat after 8 p.m. because the choice is just gone. It's like, are you going to pay $50 to have a quesadilla? No.
No dang
Like,
quesadilla.
it doesn't taste good enough to be worth it. Or if there's something that really tastes good enough that you really want to eat, you can just pay the $50. Mm-hmm. But anyways, that's been amazingly effective. And I was reading this book, and it's a behavioral economics book. It's called Misbehaving. It was recommended by the caller from one of our previous pizza streams, Charlie something. Can't remember the last name. More? Anyway, Charlie recommended this book, Misbehaving, or maybe didn't recommend it. It doesn't matter. The point is I was reading the book, and they were talking about how the pain of a loss is greater than the joy of a reward. And after the fact, I'm looking at this, I'm like, why is this so effective? It's because the pain of losing $50 is way better than if we had said like, oh, if you do it for a month, then you get $50.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, You just like after 15 days, if you really want to eat, it's like, it's okay, I didn't need that $50 anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But this $50 that was already in your pocket being wrenched away.
Yeah, and we should say that's the original $100 in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Neither one of us have even budged.
And it's been weeks. Been like at least 3 weeks.
I think it's been longer than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I think it's been a month.
It's been incredible. But anyways, I also put my hat into the ring for going to bed by midnight. Like, and that means in bed, lights off, eyes closed, not playing on a cell phone by midnight. And I've done that for about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to do the honor system. Like, there's no reason. Like, I am honorable enough to not lie about it.
Yeah. Well, and I have put my $50 up for not letting the garage get out of hand. And I have a week from Sunday. I have until the 12th or 13th or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's in the calendar.
Yeah, it's in my calendar. It's in your calendar. It's in our calendars. Because now that we have gone back to having classes live at the studio, we're not streaming here anymore. And I went out there the other day and there's boxes piling up. And I was just like, no. Okay. And I told Robby he could have my $50 if I didn't get it done in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So if you're looking to make a habit change and you're willing to do the honor system and you have somebody else who could collect your money, it works, man.
Yeah, and it has to be the right amount for you.
Yeah.
Like we decided that, if we put 10 or 20 bucks, a late night pizza might be worth an extra.
Oh, yeah.
Giving up 20 bucks, but 50 bucks?
$50 is too much, yeah.
No, not doing it.
I mean, you can even go for $100 if you're willing to have the whole $100 tied up right here.
Yeah.
Because that would be real painful.
That would be really painful, and I wouldn't want to tie up $100.
Okay. Okay, I think we mostly... Oh, no. Oh, man, I thought I was almost caught up on the chat. Not even close. Okay, well, you can talk, or I'll just read this.
No, you just read. In fact, why don't you check to see if there's anything else for me, because I'm going to go and leave you here.
You can just go. I'll relay the questions.
Okay. Well, I won't be far if you think it's important.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You can put this back. And this back.
Anything else you'd like me to?
You can take this plate away, too. Woo! Okay. All right, see ya.
Actually, I'm going to run around there and get water a little bit.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Okay, is that working? Okay, well, we're probably going to stop here in the next 10 minutes anyway. I might stream some games tonight, but that'll be separate from this stream, so I can take a break, take a shower, whatever I want to do. But let me just answer the rest of the questions, and thank you everybody for joining. Hope your pizza was good. Sorry we kind of ignored everybody today. Hopefully that discussion was at least somewhat entertaining. Okay. Well, actually, Daryl Anderson said the last time he asked, Cindy said her favorite A episode was Red River Gorge.
It still is.
Yeah, and he says it's still now a few years later, and it is.
Yeah, I like all the other ones, but that was the first time that I realized that you were really doing what you wanted to do in life.
Mm.
And the results were good for you.
Okay.
Very happy.
What was the thing you missed most about your trip to Japan? That I didn't get to go to more places. Like, I wish I had gone all the way to the southern end as well. That's next time. What's the place that you visited that you missed the most? Probably Dolly Sods. I haven't been there in a while, and it's still like one of my favorite places on earth. Where would I want to travel to next? I really want to get to Europe. I need to get to Europe, try it out, but they have banned Americans because we are completely inept at controlling the coronavirus. Favorite part of the day? My run every day. I did play Sega games, but it was always at my neighbor Jessica's house, and it was just like, it was Altered Beast and Sonic the Hedgehog. And then I had another friend, Reed, who had he had a Genesis, and we played random games, but nothing ever too in-depth. Pretty sure salsa is Spanish for sauce. Then salsa is my favorite sauce. Or my favorite salsa, I should say. Oh, when am I joining the Subaru Club? Once this car is driven directly into the ground. Until that one stops working, I'm never getting a new car. Oh, what did your mom and you think of The Rise of Skywalker? Loved it. So good. It hit all the right emotional notes. What do you think about thinking? I think thinking is good, but at some point you gotta just say, okay, I've thought about this enough. Let me just stop, because it can become very, without a better word, masturbatory. Where's your brother? What is he doing now? He lives in Ohio, and he's a designer. He does industrial design. California raisins, that's it. Thank you, guys. I was screaming California raisins at my computer. Oh my God, I'm so behind on the chat. It just dropped to the very bottom. Sorry, guys. I got 10 minutes left to eat if I still wanted to eat anything. After 8 is primo ice cream sandwich time. Okay, everybody says bye to the mother. Death Stranding second time through. That was a great game. Oh, Jason Bourgeois had the pepperoni thin crust. This is riveting entertainment. Literally, somebody like just staring at the computer, not moving anything but their eyeballs and their right index finger. And you can't even see the right index finger. Oh, hold on. We gotta talk. Sal Delicio. Okay, I've played maybe 2 or 3 hours of Legend of Dragoon. Maybe we're definitely talking about the same game. 4 discs made by Sony. It's an RPG. I'm going to have to say I did not like that soundtrack at all. In fact, that's what made me bounce off the game. I was like, dude, this soundtrack is not doing it for me. The game itself, though, seemed very cool. Like, I like the battle system, the graphic, that style of, like, pre-rendered backgrounds with polygonal characters. I love that, but I wasn't feeling the soundtrack, unfortunately. How are you feeling about Hokkaido now? Hokkaido's, I still love it. I'd love to go back there again. I'd like to just, like... I would really, really like to just walk around Japan. Literally just start walking. I don't know how feasible that actually is, but I think that would be incredible. What parts of Europe? Sweden, and is it Ireland the one that has right to roam as well? I know Sweden definitely has right to roam. And then Norway. Norway, for whatever reason, has, like, for a long time has really called to me. I was like, dude, I gotta go to Norway. And everybody who has been there, or who I know who's been there, says it's amazing. Snicker pickles are yummy. That sounds real weird. Favorite Kojima game would be Metal Gear Solid 1 or 3. Yeah, if I could only take one of them, I'd take Metal Gear Solid 1. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1. That would just have the most impact. It's still such a tight, solid, like, quick 10-hour game. I love it. Ah, my arm. Oh, Idaface. Well, I want to go to Norway. So I might take you up on that as soon as travel's possible again. Will we come back to Hawaii? Probably not for an episode, but going to Hawaii, period, yeah. I'm down to go back to Hawaii at some point. Got my arm. I'm using too much mouse today or something. We stay up for the partial lunar eclipse tomorrow night. I didn't even know it was a thing. So maybe. Oh, Mount Gorby is in Norway too. I've got multiple contacts in Norway. I forgot. Oh, would you rather only be able to run barefoot for the rest of your life or never eat pizza again? Run barefoot. Like, that's not a big deal. You could get adjusted to that eventually. Am I still playing the Switch? Ring Fit Adventure is the only game I'm playing now. And I play it almost every day. It is great. Dang, this chat just keeps jumping out of the way. Favorite part about making music is when everything comes together and it finally like coalesces into that delicious, and then like the feeling when that like climax in the music hits and you've got it all working together. That is the greatest feeling. That actually makes it worthwhile. Like if that didn't happen, I would have given up a long time ago. Do I like the Suikoden games in music? I do like them. I'm not like super into them. I finished the first one like maybe a year ago finally. And the second one, there's so much I like about it, but for some reason I just fell off of it. I would like to finish it at some point. Okay, almost through. Yeah, 2 weeks is not enough time. Next time I go, I'm going to take the whole 90 days, actually. And me and Daryl are going to try to climb some mountains, and I'm going to go everywhere, and it's going to be great. Okay, so we got two people saying that YouTuber John Dobb, only in Japan, has done a hitchhiking trip to Japan twice, once north to south, and the other most recent one south to north. I would love to do that. Oh my God, that'd be so good. In fact, I talked about this in the stream last night. I want to get like one of those touring motorcycles that you can actually put like some stuff on, and I want to do that around the US. Because I could do that with a car, but for some reason with a car, it just like doesn't seem as adventurous and it wouldn't be as fun to watch. But doing that with a motorcycle and like GoPro footage, and then you got the helmet, and then, oh man, I just don't want to die. I've never ridden, I mean, I've ridden motorcycles before, but like mopeds, not like a big motorcycle. And not that I couldn't learn it and get perfectly competent at it. It's just, man, motorcycles are so dangerous. You get in an accident and man, you're gonna be hurting. So I don't know, I'm thinking about that because I would love to do like a tour around the whole US, but just in a car, it just doesn't seem that interesting and as adventurous, you know? Maybe if I slept in my car, that would make it more adventurous. Or maybe if I got a van, I could do one of those van life trips. I'll think about that. I thought that everyone exaggerated how beautiful Norway was, and then I went and it was magical. Did I play FF7 Remake, and if so, what did you think of it? Oh, John, you're new here. Okay. I was going to say, John, were you not here like a month or two ago when that came out? When was it? April. Yeah. Loved it. Fantastic. Amazing. No complaints. I have no complaints. The music was incredible. The way I would describe that game is thrilling. Like, of all the different adjectives you could use in descriptions, it was thrilling. Like, just from the battle system to getting to see everything redone in those graphics and all the new stuff they added. Just thrilling. When did you drop out from playing Animal Crossing New Horizons? I dropped out when I tried to let my sister play, and I had to delete my save. And then after that, she barely played it, and I was like, oh, I'm never making another thing. See, at Nintendo, you only have one account on there. It's ridiculous. The music's still great, though. I listen to the soundtrack all the time. I'm not going to watch a scary movie about backpacking Norway when I want to backpack Norway myself. Do you ever play board games? I do on occasion. The only time I really do is Thanksgiving, because that's when our family all comes together and we play board games together. But very rarely, never on my own. Like, I'm never the one instigating it, but I'll play when other people want to play. I don't like scary movies, also. I refuse to watch them. Shin-chan, yo! I can't stick around, just pop in and say hi. I thought that said pooping in. See you later, Sal. Ah, man. Too bad you're a band this year, Rob. I'm planning a trip from Stavanger up through western coast to the Sognefjord region and doing some hut-to-hut backpacking and other stuff. Oh my god, dude, I would... Good god. Well, once this whole mess is over in like 2 years, if the U.S. survives that, I'm coming over. So prepare. Prepare yourself. What's your favorite Breath of Fire? I've never fully played any of them, but Breath of Fire 4 seemed amazing. Like the graphics in that, oh man. I started it. I never played it though. I never finished it. Malcorbius says, motorcycles are awesome. I miss my bike so much, but yeah, you get on and you assume you're going to die every time. I think I should get a van. Yeah, a van would do it. That would still have the sense of adventure because you'd be sleeping in the van. It's happening. I might have to do a fundraiser for that, though. I don't know how much a van costs. What is your opinion on it being episodic? They've got to do it. Because if they try to do it all at once, like with modern graphics, you just can't make a game with that same scope with these graphics. It would take 800 years to do that. So doing it in parts, I think, makes a lot of sense. I'm not a big fan of Cards Against Humanity anymore, Aaron. Not because of what happened in the news, although that certainly could be a good reason for that. I just, every time I've played it, I'm like, dude, this is not that fun. And like, it's always very uncomfortable because there's other relatives there. Like one time my mom was playing and like some other aunts and uncles were playing. And then eventually they're like, we can't do this. You kids play it. And even when we played it, like, I'm not that creative. And like, I lost to Thomas the last time I played. You saw that on the video. We went to Tim V, the Texan camper's house. Okay, I finally caught up on the chat. All right, here we go. My friends have a van they converted you could borrow, not joking. I will contact you. Sprinter vans. What mural does Robby paint on the side of his van? That's a good question. Greedo! Oh, duh! That was Trenko with the very obvious, correct answer right away. I'm not a big fan of apples to apples either, unfortunately. Just shooting down people's suggestions. Like, you should do Cards Against Humanity. Not interested. You should do... I'm sorry. But yeah. Oh, some Final Fantasy artwork, though. That might be an also obvious answer. Honda Element. Oh, yeah! Yeah, you could do a Honda Element. 25 miles per gallon, that's not bad, man. Okay, so there's a YouTube video that says, this is why you need to buy a Honda Element. And then from the same channel, it says, reason to avoid the Honda Element. And then next to that says, Honda Elements are hard to find. Which is it, man? You can get one used for $2,900? Oh, it has 230,000 miles on it. That's a lot of money. Hey! 50 cents, a lot of money. There's these new card games where you just have deep combos like We're Not Really Strangers. Oh, the meteor silhouette painted on the side. That is a great idea. I'm starting to get the hunch that Robby isn't a fan of cardboard games. It's true. It's true. In fact, the first time I did a vlog series in Japan, me, Michael, and Rob played some board game that Rob really wanted to play. He's really into board games. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll play. And then after hour 2, I was like, oh man, I'm done. After hour 3, I was like, oh man, I'm done. And then after hour 4, I was like, oh my God, dude, this has to end now. And I think I ended the game by giving all of my zombies to Rob. I can't remember exactly. Kawhi Leonard on the side of my van might be the actual correct answer. Because you could make friends with Kawhi Leonard on the side of your van. People would just be like you could even put ha 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 at the bottom. Oh my God, dude. I think that needs to happen. Because like all the other ones will look really cool. Like if I put Greedo, Greedo would be good too. Maybe Greedo on one side. Oh, I've got it. Kawhi Leonard on one side and then subtitles ha ha ha. On the other side, Greedo, and then subtitles whatever he says, which I have on the back of a t-shirt. I'll go get that right now. In fact, this would even be the thing. This would go on the side of the van, and then you'd subtitle it like this. Maybe not the whole thing, but at least part of that. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, man. I just kind of need to do that on my car, period. Because my black paint is peeling off, so I need to do something about that at some point. Yeah, Greedo, Kawhi Leonard. Huh. Okay. Dungeons and Dragons I actually do like. I've only played that like one time. And that was... I played it more than once. But the time that I remember is I went to Canada to visit Bill and Wyatt, who did the Devil's Bench podcast. And then I played in their basement. That was great fun. Those are fun because it's just like fun to roleplay and stuff. But I would probably get bored if they lasted too long. They would need to last like an hour at max. Hello, Inspector. Get a wrap for your car. That's good too. Okay, I think we're gonna end it here, guys. Thank you very much for joining and having the pizza stream and having the pizza with me. I may stream some video games after this. I'm gonna go take a shower, get prepared, and then maybe we'll do it. If I don't, no, we won't. But anyways, I don't think you'll get notified if I do another stream. I think they only notify you once a day for streams. I could be wrong about that. So maybe you have to hit that bell. So if you really want to watch it, just be on the lookout for it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. No vlog today. Probably not tomorrow, but definitely the day after. Maybe we'll do a 4th of July stream tomorrow, which is the United States Independence Day. Which, I mean, there's not a lot to celebrate as a United Statesian right now. But, I should probably get some bottle rockets or something tomorrow. Forgot about that. Or at least some sparklers. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's it? Okay, cool. No questions? Oh, have I ever done any cosplay? I have not. I'd be down for it, though. Just haven't, Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Hope you guys had some good pizza.